damaged goods, and I've accepted it. Damaged goods, damaged goods. I will build this bridge and get over it.
Yeah. You know, we all been through something. And I can tell you, I am definitely damaged. Damaged goods. Yeah, you know it. Check it. I'm damaged goods, return to sender. Many people will not remember what I be coming with, but I'm running quick on the microphone, and my stomach's sick, and I be pushing until there's nothing up in it. I could do this for more than another minute, and I could do this for hours, and I could open my chest, open heart surgery. I'm hopeless bet. I'm a hopeless romantic, because I know that I'm gonna be doing this, and it's tragic. I have to be doing this, and I'm married to game. And you just see how it happens. Well, I had to carry it. Wait, I carry the weight on my back in my mind. I have to do this in the back of my mind. I have to tell myself to keep on pushing forward. Every time they died, wait, I know I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. Building bridges to get over myself. Like I'm an angry troll, I'm knowing myself. Like I got the manual, but I know that I got my habits still. I'm gonna make sure that I'm just pushing up the hill like I'm Sisyphus. I'm doing this the way it needs to be done, so you can see that I'm just pushing towards heaven. And now I'm needing one person to be checking my perspective. Then I can go ahead and check this off my checklist, and I can reassemble it like Voltron, and I can bring it together. And you're wrong if you thinking you can't find your way up out of it, because we imprison ourselves up in our mind. Our habits is killing us every day, slowly or quickly. This is why I'm on this microphone, and you could get me. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. I'm damaged goods, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. Damaged good, and I've accepted it. Damaged goods, good, and I've accepted it. Damaged goods, good, and I've accepted it. So build a bridge and get over it. Build a bridge and get over it.
You see, the reason for that is because if I don't mute my mic, then the video will echo. I don't know how to fix this as an issue, but it is an issue that I've been having, nonetheless. Nonetheless, it is an issue that I've been having. How to fix that, I am not thusly sure. However, it is what it is. Let's Make sure that we're caught up in the chat. Where was everybody hanging out? Was anybody live before me? I wasn't rightfully in the zone to check. We got Aiden in here. We got Dragon Lord. How's it going, Dragon Lord? Good to see you, bro. Blasted, thank you for letting me know there was no sound. Lonely Sea Turtle coming in. Sea Turtle, we don't got no time for no plastic bitches. We don't want no fake plastic bitches. You don't gotta be lonely. At SeaTurtlesOnly.com. Hi, Zero. Huh. You're a handsome boy. Yes, you are. You notice? You notice? You know you're a handsome boy? What do you think about that? Huh. You just want love and attention, don't you? Don't we all? I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes. I'm gonna stream Apex after your stream. Dope, Aiden. Sounds dope. I hope you have fun. I'm good walking home. Cindy is on. Nice, nice. Maybe she will make her way over here. Spicy, sexy crawfish. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Hello, I love Keemstar. How's it going? How's it going? How for art thou, Keemstar? I hope thou art alright. Cindy, there's the host and the raid. There's it is. 5 viewers. What's going on, Cindy? Raiding with a party of 4. Sit, handsome. You're handsome, Zero, you notice? I just had the camera over here, though. And then you moved. So I moved it. You just like to make Daddy do extra work, don't you? Don't you? You just like to make Daddy do extra work, huh? My little sausage dog. My little sausage dog. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. You guys a better angle of the man. The little man. The puppy man. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy boy. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody took their meds this morning and ate something. Did I eat something? I don't think I did eat something. I went for a walk. I was going to eat something after my walk, but me and my boy, we found friends. Zero made some friends. So I was going to eat on my way back home, whenever I got home, and I got home and I didn't eat. Running late, so I didn't do a driving home live. I'm not going to lie, I hate the fact that you do those in general. So that isn't exactly upsetting to me. But I understand that you're being safe and stuff. It just is something that I just don't think I'll be okay with. And it's not a personal thing. It's definitely a me thing. So definitely don't take that the wrong way. Asses have gathered. Maybe he's from Germany or Australia. Either way, he's known to one-shot a boss. Uh-oh, is this foreshadowing? Is this foreshadowing? Thank you, I love Keemstar. Yes, this is Zero. He's a good boy. Huh. You my little Sub-Zero. You my little Sub-Zero husky. You a good boy. Yeah, you are. Let me know if the music's too loud, guys. I can turn it down. If it helps, Paco, I started wearing my seatbelt finally. There you go, Pika. Changing my color because there's too many greens. It happens. Getting on the road, lurking and jerking. All right, Pika, I appreciate you lurking and jerking. Sorry that you were running behind. You know, I really am, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to do your live. I really am. I know that you enjoy doing it and stuff, and as long as you're being safe, that's all that matters. But Taco Man just always has to be the voice of reason, which, admittedly, I never fucking thought that I would be the voice of reason. Drago the Dragon Lord. Getting on the road, lurking and jerking. All G. Hope I got you next time on your command. Ah, gotcha. Wait, what don't you like, Taco? I have to reconnect. I don't remember what I said I didn't like. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry, I'm saving my money for a snow trip. Oh, there you go, Drago the Dragon Lord. What kind of snow trip did you have in mind? Oh. We've got an epic battle. An epic showdown. see who's gonna make the first move. 0, 0, back up. Leave him alone. Back up. Leave him be. Dun, 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 dun. One more time. Hi. Gotta clean my glasses real quick. Make sure you guys take your meds. I am gonna get up and eat something real quick. Just something little, something small, something so that I can just say that I ate something. You know, it doesn't have to be anything serious. It doesn't even have to be anything healthy or breakfasty. You know, it simply needs to be something to jumpstart that metabolism, get something in your belly for the day, have some type of energy, you know, that isn't just getting siphoned from your own supply or from exorbitant amounts of caffeine. Still no pickles with the biddies. What's going on, homie? I believe those are the first biddies alive. The best part of waking up is taco in your butt. All right, now that we can start, because the live doesn't start until I say that. So, Dr. Three Balls, thank you for keeping me honest. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. Before I get on the road, yeah, it's kind of the only time I really have to go live anymore, and I know you chuckled at the seatbelt thing, but I'm actually being serious. I previously wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and I was driving really fast because I wasn't caring about my life, and then Sea Turtle and a couple of other friends popped in and were like, Pika, we care about your life, please wear your seatbelt. So I started doing it for them. Well, that's good, Pika, I'm proud of you. It's take your fucking meds time, take your fucking meds time. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Say, there you go, there you go, there you go. There you go. Take your fucking meds. Take your fucking meds. Or I'm gonna hit you with a baseball bat. Take your fucking meds. Take your fucking meds. Or I'm gonna hit you with a baseball bat. Please take your meds, or I will resort to force. To brute violent force. Hush. Plus What You Woman is in my safe book. Is in your safe book. Drago, I DM'd you. Taco, family trip, hi Zero, hi handsome boy. Hi. You biting me? You biting me? Why would you do this? Can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. How's everyone hanging? Less than 45 degrees, I hope. Hopefully. Don't be mad, I haven't eaten yet today. I haven't eaten either yet, Cindy. Let me see what I can't find. See if I can't give you guys some Lincoln Zero action. I just need to find something quick to munch real quick. I'll grab a fistful of lettuce out of that fucking fridge for all I care. I think a fist of lettuce counts. Please hold. Drago, I don't know if you understand how a boss fight works. Aid meat and Cheerios. I literally grabbed a fistful of spring mix lettuce and shoved it in my mouth. It's that easy. So boom, I ate. It might not always be easy to manage emotions, but it is easy to manage your meals. But it's 9:15, LOL. What about it being 9:15? I don't eat breakfast till snack time with my kiddo. Hey man, you might want to start thinking about maybe getting something in you early, you know? I'm not saying it has to be breakfast, but like, You know, a few pieces of lettuce, a couple berries. Like, I literally just grabbed a fucking fistful of shit and shoved it in my gullet. Like, you guys can do this. I have faith in you. Sea Turtle, you're goofy. Aiden's eating some Cheerios. Catching up in the chat. I do. Bosses have minions. Bullcrap, stream elements. 0 seconds. The watch time is broken for everybody. Easy, 0. You gotta be easy with him. 0. Easy. Easy. 0. That way you guys can see what I'm yelling at. Or a sandwich is good too. Yeah, I mean a sandwich is good, but I just know that a lot of times the struggle sometimes with eating breakfast is that you know, we just don't feel like preparing it. You know, whether it's from being lazy or being depressed or just really not feeling like it. You know, whatever the answer could be. It definitely helps to have some quick options, some quick alternatives. That is, you know, basically my point when I'm talking about the breakfast stuff. I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm not trying to talk about shit that I have no business talking about, but I just know that for me personally, sometimes I just can't bring myself to eat. You know, I can't bring myself to care enough about myself to actually put something together. So, you know, I've definitely taken it seriously to try to remind other people to eat and drink water. You know, it wasn't until I was feeling so shitty that I would do anything to start feeling better that I decided, fuck it. You know, if they say that doing this and doing this is going to help, drinking water and trying to eat some type of breakfast. And by that, I just mean eating something early enough in the day to get your metabolism moving. Your metabolism moves very, very slowly until you get that first meal of the day. So, let's see here. I don't want to say it. Didn't want to say it, but yeah. Hell yeah, I love egg rolls. How about my egg roll? Can I hit you with an egg roll? They always have minions. You know, Drago, as if we didn't see the same boss for a very long time already, I feel like if the boss had minions, I don't have that as an option. I don't believe that I can make that happen. I mean, with Ginger J, all things are possible. But, you know, that's not something that the boss bar, I don't believe something that the boss bar has as an option. I would do anything for your egg roll, especially that. Alright guys, so I'm curious. I know we're going to be hanging out with the animals for the first little while, and Zero's back here being a turd burglar. Yeah, that's right, you're the one that burgles turds. I know, I've heard of your kind. I've heard of your kind here. Hello, you turd burglar. I don't know about managing emotions, but managing this fucking dog, you want to talk about emotions. You got all kinds of emotions. He said I love you again yesterday. It wasn't as good as it was the time before, but it was pretty close, and I also had a witness. 420 somewhere. Yo, Pika, you're not wrong. I won't be blazing today, but if anybody wants to blaze, you are more than welcome to. Feel free to throw those CB Chevys in the chat. I'll even throw in some placebo Chevys. Bang. If you guys don't know, CB Chevy is one of the lovely founders of our channel. We've also got the wonderful Witchy Woman. She is also one of the founders of our channel. She's got their very own emote. And last but not least, the third founder of said channel, Pika Girl. So make sure you guys show that love to Pika. I know that Pika had mentioned that she's been busy. Busy bee. But Pika does so much to show us love and support, you know, all of us, not just myself, not just the Taco Party Pack, but, you know, Ow Mau Army, and, you know, everybody. Everybody who Pika takes the time to know, she takes the time to truly show love and support to. So, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I gave Pika a little bit of recognition, you know, where it was definitely due, where it's definitely deserved, and yeah, you know, Cindy, the wonderful Cindy was in charge of designing, not in charge because it wasn't something that, you know, I had expected her to do at all, but she designed all of my new hand-drawn emotes, and one of them was a Pika. And I've been wanting to do like a Pika related, you know, not a Pika related emote, but I just hadn't, and I'm really glad that I was able to get that done. But I won't do that. I know that you can swap the damage to healing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna say I don't remember what all I could do. I haven't looked at it in a minute. I do need to. Hey! You're drama. You're drama. You know that? Come here. Come here, drama. That's what I should have named you. You know that? Should have named you Drama. Come here. Boop. I can do shout outs. Let's go. There you go, Blasted Asses. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's not a mod only thing. It's not a mod only thing. I think anybody can do shout outs. If anybody wants to shout out somebody, I think anybody has the option to do that. Might be a VIP and mod thing, but I don't believe so. How's everybody doing today? You know, before we get into our topic of discussion, I want to make sure that I obviously, you know, take some time to spend with the animals, take some time to ask you guys all how you're doing and stuff. Obviously, we're going to be talking about emotions. So if in sharing, you guys have anything to share, you know, related to emotions on any level, you know, your emotions, somebody else's emotions, you know, emotions as a whole, you know, please feel free to do the sorts. Whoa, I can do shout outs. Cindy, if I send you a drawing submission for an emote for Taco, would you be able to make it? Well, Drago, if it's a picture that you already drew, Cindy's not the one that got it to the digital level. So if you already have it drawn, then let me know. Unless you're saying that you want Cindy to try to draw it. And then you'd have to make sure that she had, you know, the time and stuff. She is a very, very talented artist, so, you know, I definitely recommend that you guys take her up on her abilities. She's definitely got some. Got quite a plenty of them. Got them a plenty. No, this way. Trying to debate on where to be for my camera and everything. There we go, I like that. And most lives you can't, so that's amazing. It's usually only a mod thing only. Yeah, a lot of people will keep it like that. I mean, maybe in the future, I think if anything, I would have it as like a sub thing. I don't think that I would do it as a mod only thing. You know, that's just one extra thing that mods feel like they need to do. And I know that a lot of times mods are already, you know, going above and beyond to do what they can. So, you know, I don't ever try to make it that so that anybody feels like they have to do anything. You know, I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have, you know, responsibilities to me. You know, if you feel a responsibility, that is a responsibility for yourself, maybe for the channel. You know, even mods know, like, you don't have to kick somebody until I say so, you know, or until you see that clearly they're being, you know, malicious, hateful, more than one person isn't having fun. And that's pretty much it. You know, all that I ask is that if a mod sees something that is belligerently hateful, hate speech, something like that, that they, you know, against terms of service, that they get it out of the chat as soon as they see it. You know, and that's not really, you know, that's just if you're here, if you see it, you know, please do. I'm not a talented artist, but I love to draw. Oh, wait, I can send it to you? Yeah, Drago, you can just send it to me. Can draw you on paper, but can't do digital drawing. Yes, you can send him on Discord. That's how I feel, Blasted. I'm not a talented artist, but I love to draw as well. It's just, you know, fun. I think I like to write. Hey! Zero. You need to stop, Zero. Stop. I just feel like it's good to create. I feel like all of you guys who are listening, you know, let me know what type of creation that you're responsible for. Whether you're making babies, whether you're making love, whether you're making poetry or pictures or music. I think that it's important for people to create. You know, there's so much destruction and stuff in the world that it's very, very important, I feel. Thank you for those shout outs, everybody. Thank you for those links. I appreciate it. I had given everybody the go-ahead to share, so let me make sure that I didn't miss anything. But if I didn't, and if nobody has anything to share, then we're going to get going. In Finland, I know it's 420. There you go, Cinny. I know that you can swap... Okay, cool. Swap the damage to healing. Megan saying, what's up to Blasted Asses? Let me get a drink of water. So, guys, I'm curious on how we feel about emotions. I know that I'm just about fucking over them. I'm over. Anybody who doesn't know, I have basically had to relearn emotions and how they felt, what they were supposed to feel like, what they meant. And I'm fucking over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. If this isn't the way that I feel all the time, but sometimes I'm just like, man, if I could just never feel an emotion again, I'd be great. And then I remember when I was just numb and felt no emotion, and as much comfort as there is in being numb, it's so much better to feel. Now, sometimes you have to make sure that you're not feeling too much, but, you know, that's all on managing your emotions. Let's see what anybody else has to add, if anything. We got to hydrate in here. Okay, time's up. Have an amazing day, and all beautiful human beings have a fantastic day, you sexy human being. Blasted Asses, I hope you have a great day, man. Next time they have an event mode for Diecast, we'll definitely have to get on. Try to play a couple of rounds. I hope you have a great day, my man. Take care of that baby girl. Take care of yourself. And we're going to have, not an emotional chat, but it's going to be an emotional chat. It's not going to be emotional. I'm not going to try to make it emotional. I mean, we get emotional pretty much every day because I'm a bitch. And also because you guys are bitches. No, I'm just kidding. We get emotional because we give a fuck about one another. And in here, there's just so many people who give a fuck. And it's just a little bit overwhelming sometimes to have this many people care. It's almost impossible not to open up and share a little bit sometimes. You know, I feel like we see it every single day. Whether it's me or it's one of you guys, you know, something happens in the chat and we just, you know, somebody who we've been friends with for a while decides to share something that they haven't shared in a while or haven't shared before, and it just happens. You know, it just happens. And it's very, very cool. I've seen, you know, 18, 19-year-old kids inspire 30, 40-year-old men to share things that they haven't shared with anybody. So anybody truly can make a difference. Now, the scale of that difference is to be determined, but we can all make a difference. And I think that I truly, truly feel like being able to deal with your emotions and just dealing with emotions as a whole is going to be a vital part of all that. I'm emotional too right now. The crazy things that has going on. Definitely, Cindy. You know, the crazy things that are going on are definitely a contributing factor to, you know, heightened emotions. Anybody else who wants to play along, what are some other contributing factors to heightened emotions? I wanna feel comfy. I love this song. This is Evo Dance, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give Evo the quick shout out while we are talking, since I got it here. Much love to Evo. Guys, I think Evo's going to start streaming every day again, so make sure you guys show him some mad love. Evo and his community has been very, very awesome to a lot of people. So if you need music for your streams, he's got over 2 hours of it, DMCA free on Spotify. He's got so many tools at his disposal to help people out. He's got a super cute dog. Maybe not as cute as mine, in my humble opinion. However, there are some people who are more into Chihuahuas than they are into Huskies. So, I get it. You know, there are so very many things that can contribute, Cindy, to the heightened emotions. And I really feel like it's almost a fool's errand to try to list them all. You know, I'd asked, you know, obviously, you know, natural disasters, family disaster, pretty much anything negative. But we're not talking about negative emotions. We're talking about emotions as a whole and dealing with them. And Cindy and everybody else who's listening and who has been listening, a big part of the reason why I have harped so much on the self-help type of you know, kick, you know, a mental health kick more than anything. But when I'm talking about self-help, I'm talking about being able to understand your emotions, being able to help yourself through these ups and downs, these peaks and valleys, these spirals. Isaac D. Snats, this is my first time that I realized you have glasses. How many times have you been in here? I used to wear my contacts until they weren't good anymore, and now I have to wear my glasses. Welcome back in. I sack these nuts. I feel like your name was supposed to say I suck these nuts, but I read it as I sack these nuts, which makes me feel like you're just gonna come out of nowhere and fucking hit me with a haymaker right in the ball bag. I hope that's not gonna happen, because my non-existent children are wincing in pain at just the thought of it. But welcome in. I'm glad that the nutsacker is on our side, because if anything brings up some emotional fucking torment, it is some scrotal torment. So just sack the other guy's nuts, please. He says maybe. Hey, as long as you're thinking about it. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I don't deserve a good old nut punch just as much as anybody. But at least videotape it or something. Like, come on, at least let me get a couple views for it. If I'm gonna have to be on the ground thriving in pain, at least let me be able to look back and laugh. I hope you're doing well, Isaac. We are talking about emotions. We're talking about dealing with emotions as a whole. You know, we're going to be talking about emotions across the board, but the first thing I want to, you know, kind of bring to the table, obviously, other than the, you know, stuff that we've already brought to the table, is your emotions, not my emotions. Fuck, we're talking about you. We're talking about no, like our personal emotions, not other people's emotions. You know, when you're thinking about emotions, I'm sure a lot of people went to one place or the other, you know, dealing with emotions. Are you dealing with emotions on the inside, or are you dealing with emotions from an outside perspective? There's a good chance that all of us are dealing with both our own emotions and other people's emotions. And it can have a detrimental effect, whether you're dealing with one or the other. However, learning to deal with your emotions will help you in the long run. Learning to deal with other people's emotions is only gonna, if you can't control how you feel, then that's a problem. And obviously, some of us are fucked up on a molecular level, but when it comes to anything, that I've talked about, all of this, self-help stuff that I've, been talking about, that I didn't realize had such a negative connotation at first, a lot of it stems from learning about yourself and dealing with your own emotions, getting through it, getting through the things that make you angry, make you depressed, make you sad, make you anxious. Did I already say anxious? I don't remember. Wise words from a taco. Wise realization from a nutsacker. Yes. I've got some wise enough words. I wouldn't say that my words are wise. I am just assessing the life that I've been thrown into. From an early age, I was responsible for being the mediator in my family. I would take it upon myself. And when I say I was responsible, I mean it was my cross to bear. Nobody made me responsible. I just knew, hey, my family is tearing itself apart from the inside out, and I need to fucking make sure that these crazy dramatic bitches got their shit in a line. I'm no saint. I've had some problems with family members and stuff, but very, very few and far between. And I'm not here to play the blame game or nothing. Simply just saying that from a young age, I have had to assess emotions and assess, situations and kind of figure out who was wrong and why, or if both were wrong, and how in the fuck do you tell two people that are mad at each other that they need to resolve that shit, and how to resolve that shit. It's a lot of guesswork. It's a lot of truly knowing and understanding, but I really feel like that has to be part of the reason why I'm so understanding, and why some of you guys feel like, I speak smarter than I should, because I'm really not an intelligent person. I'm not dumb. But some of these thoughts that I have don't always necessarily feel like my own, but I think maybe they were just so old and dormant and unused that it just feels that way. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys? Let me catch up in the chat. Drago, hopefully you knew the taco had such wisdom. That's why people come and hang out with me. I mean, it might be because of the bikini, but I haven't been able to find the bikini, so I got to make sure that the nipples are covered. I was hot today. Today might have been a bikini-only stream if I could have found it. I'll keep an eye out today. You were going to make my eyes water. Hey, even the most media flowers need a little water, my friend. Bars. Do you think that, that's offensive to people who are, in the rap and hip-hop community? I mean, I just can't help it. It's a learned behavior. I blame Trey Beret and Ao Mao and anybody that I met with them. Trey Beret has those bars emotes. I love those. I love getting the sub to Trey for the bar emotes specifically. Well, it makes sense, Isaac, and I'm not trying to get too deep on you guys, Trust me, I don't need any help being a soft-ass taco. But I feel like it's important. It's important especially when we are talking about, toxic masculinity and stuff in society. Like, I'm not saying that toxic masculinity doesn't exist, but if you're going to acknowledge toxic masculinity, then you also have to acknowledge toxic femininity, toxic femininity, which isn't even a thing that anybody has probably ever said in the history of the world until right now. I might be the first person. You know, it has nothing to do with gender. And that's just another way to divide us. Human beings in general have toxic behaviors, toxic traits, toxic emotions. And, you know, an emotion, a behavior, a trait is not toxic until you utilize it as a weapon. And getting back to emotions and stuff, you know, it's one thing to be an emotional person. It's one thing to struggle with this, to deal with that, to have an anger problem, to you know, be depressed or have anxiety or to be bipolar. But it's another thing to enable those toxic behaviors. You know, I'm not saying that somebody who's bipolar is ever going to be not bipolar, or somebody who's depressed or anxious isn't going to, you know, be depressed or anxious forever. But if you stopped making excuses for your shitty behavior and actually truly dug deep, cut out the bullshit, and truly fought to get better. It's not easy. It's not fucking easy. And I'm not going to say that everybody can overcome every ailment, every, you know, mental or physical deficit that they have, but if you're not willing to do your part, it's only going to get better. Or it's only going to get worse, I mean, not better. What the fuck am I talking about? Let's see, he always had it. Right, Cindy? That's what I'm saying. Where's Drago been? I'm curious, while we're talking about emotions today, guys, and specifically our emotions right now, what are some of the hardest emotions for you guys to control? I know for me, for a long time, I don't know if it still is the hardest one, because they're all pretty hard right now, but no more than 45 degrees, would be anger. Aiden says anger. Is hunger an emotion? I feel like it could be. I definitely feel like it could be. Quote me if violated. I definitely feel like it could be. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, hunger can cause emotions. But I feel like hunger at this point could be considered an emotion. Although, I feel like it might be dangerous to classify that as an emotion because, like, I know that sometimes, like, I get depressed. Well, more depressed than usual. And I just get hungry. Like, I have to eat. And it's not that I'm hungry. It's that I'm depressed. You know? Or some people will get hangry. You know, if they're hungry, they'll start getting angry. They'll start getting irritable. So, I mean, I would say it maybe like a secondary. I don't know if it's technically an emotion, but I think for sake of argument, we could think about it as such, at least in a way or two. One of the things that I love to do is I love to compare two things that have no fucking business being compared, and using that to kind of help understand shit better. You know, I like to take something that I know a little bit more about, something that I know nothing about, compare the two and say, oh, okay, well, I knew nothing about this, but I know that it's not like this, so I know something about this. It's not like this. You know? It makes no sense, but if you're desperate enough, you can make it work. I agree, Aiden. Anger is a big one. Aiden, feel free to you know, call and talk to me about that sometime. And anybody who ever wants to chat about anything like this, you know, on a personal level, you all have a way to reach me. If you ever want to reach out, you can, because I could use a fat taco right now. What a coincidence. I'm almost 200 pounds, and I am almost a taco. Whoa, we're halfway there. The best part of waking up is taco in your butt. Oh, you wanted it in the other hole. Gotcha. Sorry. What was I talking about? True, when I'm hungry, sometimes I get angry as heck for no reason. I just feel like breaking stuff. That's what we call hangry. Hungry, angry. I feel like hunger isn't necessarily an emotion, but it is definitely a good answer to what I asked earlier on some things that cause difficult to manage emotions. You know, things like stuff that's outside of our control. You know, a natural. You know, our friend Cindy, lost a piece of her roof. So, you know, if anybody needs any art of any type, if you would like to commission Cindy to do work for you, and I'm always breaking an arm, jerking her work off, but I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, something like having a roof problem can really make your emotions, you know, go crazy. Something like being hungry. Even if you're not starving, you're just hungry. Maybe you were depressed, so now you're hungry, but now you're hungry and you can't eat, so now you're angry. So now you're angry and you're depressed. The depression led to the anger, but the depression led to the hunger, but the hunger led to the anger. And if you don't start trying to assess your situation or yourself, you're never going to understand. You know, you're not going to be able to work backwards and see where the true root of your problems are coming from. You know, I never even knew that self-help gurus existed. I started doing these lives and referring to them as like self-help, because who wouldn't want to try to be able to help themselves? I'm not here to try to teach anybody anything. I'm here because I myself need some fucking help. And that's it. You know, I'm not here pretending like I know any better than anybody. I just don't want anybody to ever feel as alone as I had felt in my life. And anybody who ever finds us will not have to deal with that. You know, if they choose to feel like this isn't enough for them, then that's fine. But, you know, me and so many people put ourselves out there, personally to be here for one another, and we truly try. You know, Cindy and Pika and Ao Mao and Drago and Witchy Woman, you know, the whole entire community, and so many communities that, you know, have become a part of us have, you know, decided to fight for our cause, because it's a very, very good one. I think that hunger is a good one. You know, hunger is definitely something that can lead to emotions. Hunger, we've already talked about, can lead to negative emotions, but what about the good emotions? What about when you know that your friend or your girlfriend or your sister or your mom is hangry? They're hangry because they're hungry, and you already know. You've seen the signs. So you already have food prepared, and you give them that food, and hunger, although it's the lack of hunger, you know, they're not hungry anymore, that will make them happy. And that's why some people gain 500 fucking pounds, because they get, you know, some type of happiness from eating, but they don't do it in a healthy way. Whether you're eating or drinking water or masturbating or, you know, smoking or drinking, too much of anything can affect you negatively, and a little bit of something never hurt nobody. Of course, minus a couple of things. Because I could use a fat taco, I feel hungry. Right? I think that works. Isaac says, such true, when I'm hungry, sometimes I get angry as heck, and for no reason, I just feel like breaking stuff. It's so strange, you know. I don't know if I've ever really gotten, like, angry over being hungry, but I get, like, bored hungry a lot. Like, if I'm bored, I'll get hungry, or even if I'm not bored, like I said, like, sometimes I'll just have, like, these really huge, like, depressive episodes, and no matter what, I just feel like I need to eat. Like, I would be one of those 500-pound bitches on the fucking TV if it wasn't for Not that there's anything wrong with 500-pound bitches. If any of you guys are 500-pound bitches, I'm sorry if I, made you feel any type of way. Cindy, thank you for the shout out for Ow Mau Music, the wonderful Ow Mau Music. Always hooking us up with amazing tunes, hooking us up with amazing information and thoughts, and just a very, very amazing individual. Such a shout out to, people like Evo, people like Ow Mau, who, share their art and do it in such a revolutionary way. In such a way where they, refuse to succumb to the man, where they stay independent and they stay in control of who can use their music, when it can be used, and what they get out of it. It really, really gives me hope for the world to see such amazing people, such creative people giving back when so many people just take. And we wonder why so many people in the world are dealing with, emotional issues. When 90% of us are forced to work our lives away so that 10% can live a lavish life, it's no wonder that most of us are fucked emotionally. We're all just fighting to survive. It's crazy to think about, and it makes sense. It makes so much sense. So many people are like, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I have anxiety. Like, okay. You do know that that's natural in the world we live in. Like, circa 20 years ago, maybe not. But the world that we live in, I'm sorry if you feel like you're special. If you're struggling with a mental illness, you are the majority. And you need to fucking realize that. If you struggle with a mental illness, you are the majority. But so many people are just stuck, feeling sorry and feeling bad for themselves and feeling like they're just broken and they just need to do what the doctor says and take this pill, do this, keep working fucking out, keep moving like the piston, fucking. And you wonder why. You wonder why shit's not going to ever get any better. It's because the people who call the shots aren't going to stop living their lavish lives, aren't going to start actually fucking putting the work in that needs to be put in. It takes people like us to just do shit out of the kindness of our heart. And it's shit like that that's going to change the world. When we talked about earlier whether or not we can actually make a change. Our votes don't matter. The Electoral College makes sure of that, not to mention all of the other fucking fraud that goes on. But what you do and how you feel matters. So if you're struggling with any of this shit, I really do challenge you to try to think for yourself. Try to break some of those chains. Try to think back. Try to dissect your fucking brain and figure out what little things you can do. Maybe something as small as drinking an extra glass or two of water a day will start to reprogram your mind. Because we've all been programming our minds since we've been young. And outside influences have attempted to program it to their liking, whether it's our parents, our teachers, TV shows, music, commercial. Our brain is almost like a supercomputer, and it is constantly processing information and changing. So if you're just feeding it the same bullshit information that you're depressed and you're anxious and you can't get any better and you don't deserve better, that's all you're gonna fucking have in your life. And I'm not saying that you can just wish it away. You can just, my thoughts are better now, I'm not depressed. That's not what the fuck I'm saying. But I'm saying, if you are to the point that I was, where you will fucking do anything to get better, then hopefully something that I said resonated with you. If you are still on your pity party and want to feel bad for yourself and you think that I'm just, a piece of shit who's objectifying mental illness right now, then you clearly haven't felt some of the pain that I have, which is fine. And I don't mean to call anybody out. I'm not calling anybody out because that wasn't directed towards anybody. But if you feel like you were called out, I apologize. I never claimed to be intelligent, all right? I never claimed to be smart. I don't claim to be stupid, but I don't claim to be educated. Especially in, you know, some of the areas that I talk about. However, I have lived it. I have lived it my whole life, even before my incident. You know, it's something that I understand more than I think I even truly understand, and I think I might have to figure out a way, you know, to help people on a more wide scale, you know, and just in a way of, you know, making sure that I have time, that I have the ability, and right now I totally do. But there's talks of the possibility, depending on how I feel, which I'm going to keep as positive of a thought process as I can. Although I do have my doubts, I'm going to try my best and do my best to be ready. There is talks of me possibly being able to get back to work, you know, sometime in August, you know, pending how I'm feeling, you know, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, maybe, and it was kind of just a mention, so it wasn't like a huge conversation, but I really, really would like to be able to do something where I could, you know, help people. I don't really know if I want to go back to school because it's a lot of money, and I feel a certain type of way about school and stuff. So I don't really know what I want to do. I'm kind of just ranting and rambling right now. Appreciate all you guys who are lurking and jerking and hanging out. I know that sometimes I say some crazy shit, sometimes I say some controversial shit, and sometimes I just rant. Sometimes people don't want to say nothing in the chat because they don't want to be involved in my fucking craziness, which is A-okay. And sometimes people are just lurking. Thank you if you're doing either of the two. If anybody has the ability to throw in a few emotes so I know who I'm talking to, you are more than welcome to, but no hate, no pressure. If you have a favorite streamer, you can throw their emotes in and it plasters them all over the screen. But I had asked you guys, what are the hardest emotions to deal with? And we had said anger. A lot of us said anger. I think anybody who answered said anger. So we're going to start there. Because it is the most... What's the word? It is the quickest rising and falling. Alright? It comes out of nowhere. It comes on quick. And it is powerful. It can be catastrophic. Anger, if you do not get it under control, can make the difference between life and death in your life. Whether it's your life or death or the ones around you, anger is the most erratic. That's the word I was looking for. Anger, I would say, is the most erratic of all the emotions. What's going on, his baby girl? I hope you're doing well. We are... This is a name change of some type, isn't it? Who is this a name change, or has that always been your name, his baby girl? I'm just checking to make sure. For some reason, I was thinking that you might be one of our other friends. I was just double checking. We're talking about emotions today. We're having a good day. We woke up, we got a shower, we trimmed up the beard a little bit, we walked 0. Rough morning. Oh no, rough morning for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Let us know what's going on if you would like to. If not, then just tell me to shut the fuck up and mind my own business. But we're talking about emotions, so, you know, I like to always ask if people let me know they're having a shitty morning, you know, if I can change my... Okay, cool, just checking. For some reason, I was thinking that you might have been a name change from our friend Bree. I didn't think Bree changed her name, but I was thinking that it might have been. I was just making sure you weren't our friend Bree. But yeah, if you want to share, you're more than welcome to. I always like to know / give it an option, because if I can avoid, certain things, certain topics, first of all, I will. Second of all, that's what this is all about. Giving people the option to come in and share if they want to, or not share if they want to not. There's no pressure, there's no fucking anything. So let me know if you want to talk about it, what's going on, what's making the morning rough. If not, we're going to keep talking about emotions and anger and how difficult it is to deal with. I had an anger problem. And I would still say that I do. Except for it's not really a problem anymore. I just have anger. I'm an angry person. And I bet most of you are surprised to hear that. You're telling me the fun-loving taco bikini man is an angry person? Yeah. Why do you think I cling to all things that are light like a fucking junkie? Because I've seen anger. I've seen black. I've seen red. I've seen nothing at all. And anything that happens after you start seeing those things are between your subconscious and God. Until you truly experience anger, you almost don't know what is capable of it. And anger, going to such an eccentric emotion so fast, so much, can not only make you numb to the rest of the emotions, but can make you numb in general. So many of us get tired of being angry, so tired of being mad and mean all the time, that we just say fuck it. We just give up. We just quit. We just throw in the towel and say, you know what? I'm going to stop caring about shit. Because it's the fact that I care that's pissing me the fuck off. But it's not. It's your anger. Let's see, my kid's father, who passed 2 years ago, is weighing heavily on my heart today. Woke up so sad and crying. I'm still sad, angry, and everything else that comes with it. Damn, his baby girl. I can't imagine what you're going through. Speaking of emotions, that is going to be one that is just as hard to deal with as anger, if not harder. The only reason why it maybe seems less difficult is because you don't have to deal with it as much. Grieving. We get angry over getting fucking cut off on the road. My game lags and I get pissed off. We get mad over the stupidest shit. Anger is one of the most useful emotions, but we use it like it's a fucking toy. Grief is a whole different thing. And I'm very sorry for your loss. Cindy says, had yesterday a weird dream that woke up some memories. I was little and loved to eat dry peas. One day I put them on the table, did something, and then let me fix this. I want to make sure that I'm sitting up straight and stuff so that I have good posture for you guys and stuff, and make sure my back doesn't start hurting. I was little, loved to eat dry peas. One day I put them on the table, did some things, and then when I was going back outside, I take my peas and eat them, and then I was feeling so bad. Everything was spinning and I didn't feel good, so I was running to my mom and I was crying that I didn't feel good. Turned out I did accidentally take my grandma's strong meds that was on the table. Mom called hospital and asked what should she do. Oh my goodness, Cindy. Wow. And that memory came back to you from a dream. That is insane. Holy cow. I hadn't ever drank so much water like that time, and I remember I didn't want to drink water no more, but then I would go going to the hospital, didn't want it, so I cried and drank that water. Yeah, they had to flush your system. That's why. I'm sure you know now, but you know, you potentially were you know, overdosing on your grandma's drugs, her prescription drugs, obviously. But that was why, you know, they wanted to try to make you, you know, get as much of that out as you could with the water and stuff. That's crazy, Cindy. I would say grief and sadness are definitely the emotions that I was coming to next, as far as, you know, difficult ones to deal with. So thank you, baby girl, for coming in. You know, I'm sorry that it couldn't be on better terms, but thank you so much for coming to show me love and support, and thank you so much for giving us the option, the opportunity to do the same for you, because that's all that a lot of us want out of this, is to be here for people who might need somebody to bullshit with, and you might be too busy to even say something in the chat. You're still here. You're still bullshitting with us. I don't care if you haven't said a single word, if you've just been listening. It's for a reason. I don't know what the fuck that reason is, because I don't even know that you're listening right now. But I'm very confident that everything happens for a reason, and that's not something that I ever believed. I never believed that everything happens for a reason. Never. How could little kids being hurt have a fucking reason? You know, there's certain things that I still don't know if I would necessarily say, like, all things have a reason, but, like, everything that I have, I'm at a point in my life where everything that I have gone through is worth it. Because if one or two little things wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have got to meet some of the amazing people that I did. And obviously there's probably some shit that maybe would have turned out better for a hell of a lot of people if I would have made one decision. Does anybody have a moment in their life where you can think back on and you had a choice to make? You know, we can all say, like, oh, you know, you got into a relationship, this happened, that happened, like, you know, you met this person, they introduced you to this person, like, but, like, as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, I had the opportunity to move in with my uncle out in California. And I didn't take it, because I wanted to go move in with my dad. I had lived with my mom my whole life. My dad had spent my dad had spent my entire life trying to, you know, see me as much as he was supposed to see me, and when he wasn't, you know, when I let him know that I wanted to live with him, you know, he fought to get custody of me. You know, my dad might be a lot of things, but he is an amazing father. And moving to California with my uncle wasn't a choice, wasn't an option. And I can't help but think how much different life might be, but I don't care. You know, I don't give a fuck. Thank you, Taco. Yeah, I know, Cindy. Just feel so alone and always have to have my shit together for my kids who still struggle with his death. My daughter is angry and suicidal. My son is sad and depressed. I just need someone right now. Well, that's the thing, baby girl. You know, where I feel a lot of parents falter, if I may be so bold, first of all, I apologize if that comes off the wrong way, is that they feel like they always have to be a parent. They feel like they always have to be teaching. They have to set the example. They have to be the grown-up. But how many of you parents, adults, remember a point when you were a kid and you were trying to understand something as just a human being, not something that was an adult thing that you shouldn't know about, but you were just trying to understand something, and a parent didn't give you the answer that you truly needed because you were just a kid. I feel like, parents, sometimes I'm not a parent. I feel like parents, sometimes you put yourself at risk to try to stop your kids from having to deal with certain things. But when we're talking about death, and we're talking about sadness, and we're talking about grief, that's a group fucking project. Alright? You didn't lose the love of your life, and they didn't lose their father. You all lost somebody who you care about. And you are obviously struggling. You're suffering. And what the fuck do you think your kids are feeling? You don't have to go through this alone because you have them. They're suicidal. They're depressed. They're struggling to hold it together. And I truly think what they need is for their mom to lead by example. Talk to them about their emotions. Truly be there for them. To talk to them about whatever they need to talk about, but don't do it as their parent. Do it as somebody who lost the same loved one that they did. Do it as that baby girl who is just a big old kid. All being an adult is being the same stupid kid in a more responsible, more capable, depending on the age, body. And like I said, excuse the fuck out of me if I'm talking about something that I have no business talking about because I don't have kids and I've never dealt with a loss like that. But if you are there for one another and you truly take the time to understand your children and understand what they're going through, it will be so much easier for you to figure out your own shit. Figure out what you're going through. And your kids will help a lot with that. More than you will ever expect. Kids, although they say and do the damnedest things sometimes, they are some of the most pure of heart, of mind, and a situation like this could, be a difference maker. So again, baby girl, I'm sorry for, I'm sure that was a little aggressive and stuff. Mostly always working and jerking and lurking. Thank you, 3 balls. I never know who's lurking unless you put something in the chat. I don't ever look at my who's watching thing. I do from time to time, but very rarely. I'm a believer in it, even if I can't figure it out in that moment. And my grandma wanted to take her meds, but they weren't there no more, so she run upstairs, and same time mom being on the phone, doctor could help us faster. Definitely. It is a group project. We have to talk. We have talks, and once while I break down with them, but I always let them know we have each other. Thank you for being as receptive to that as you were, because I was kind of a cunt about it. And I definitely don't know your situation. I don't know what you already have and haven't done. Anytime that I do anything like that, where I kind of go into just like a zoned out rant like that, I'm not telling anybody what they should do. I'm just offering my 2 cents on the situation. If it's worth anything to you, then boom, you just got 2 cents richer. If not, then I'll keep it for somebody else. No problem. Don't apologize. I didn't take it any negative way. Thank you, though, for talking to me. Definitely, I just know that when it comes to parents, nothing that I thought that you took the wrong way, baby girl, but I know when somebody who's not a parent talks about parenting type of stuff, people can sometimes get up in arms, and especially when I was using some aggressive terms and stuff, so I just wanted to make sure that, I was being respectful. It's all about respect. It's all about respect, baby girl. And anybody who has kids, if you are struggling with your kid, show them a little bit of respect. So many people say, and this, as from a young age, parents, it starts with parents. They say, at least my parents did, maybe your parents were better. My parents weren't bad. But they would always say, well, for you to get respect from me, you have to give me respect. Oh, well, you're being pretty disrespectful right now, but I've been respecting you most of my life. All right, I'll keep respecting you, but you just keep disrespecting me. What the fuck? Like, have enough respect for your kid. And I'm not saying that you guys don't respect your kids. That's not what I'm saying. But have enough respect for how you guys raised them, to know that they can handle it, to know that they can manage it. You know, I'm glad that you're talking with them, you're breaking down, you're, you know, truly showing them, you know, emotion, but make sure that you are helping them with theirs, you know, teach theirs. Like you had said yourself, it very much so is a group project, and it sounds like you guys work quite freaking well as a team. I ain't the teacher, but I would give you an A+. And yo, you'd even get some extra credit. So, like I said, that's got to be a hard thing to deal with, and an even harder thing to bring up. But I know that managing emotions is difficult. And as I had asked, what are some of the most difficult emotions to manage with ourselves? I think this is as perfect a time as any to segue into dealing with other people's emotions. Baby girl, if you tire of me using you as the example, please just tell me to shut the fuck up. But you are dealing with both. You're dealing with your emotions, figuring out which ones are the hardest, most prominent to have to deal with, and you're also dealing with your kids' emotions. You're dealing with other people's emotions. A lot of us are dealing with multiple people's emotions in our day-to-day life, but not in the way that you are. And I always say this thing, something along the lines of putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, that way you can handle the ones that you are forced into better. A lot of us are forced into situations that are uncomfortable, that we have to deal with some of these things that we might not be an expert in, but the more people we have to lean on and talk to and rely on, the better chance we have at making it to the other side, and then being able to start putting ourselves in the uncomfortable situations that we know we struggle with, that are going to kind of help to soften the blow when we're forced back into it. And it's a weird, bold strategy. It's not for everyone, but it is damned effective, if I do say so myself. Good, baby girl. I just always like to, be open and upfront. I always like to make it about somebody if they are struggling, but I also like to not make it about them. I'm not making any of this about you. This is literally all shit that I was planning on talking about. Like, dealing with emotions, your emotions, which are the hardest to deal with, other people's emotions. So believe me when I say that I'm not saying that every single thing that has happened happens for a reason. Some people go off the rails and hurt people, and that's not okay. But I'm so glad that you came in and shared, because I truly believe that it was for a reason. What that reason is, I have no idea. I would hope that the reason would be to help give you and your children some type of comfort, some type of extra tools, tips, techniques, tricks, something to get through the day, get through these times, because you know better than anybody, baby girl, that the grief will not pass, but this feeling will. All right? You will always be upset at the loss, but that doesn't mean that you will always be in the point where you just don't know what to do. And that's where a lot of people start making the irreversible decisions, because almost every situation, if it's not reversible, you can at least make up for it. And it's when we're in these crazy zones of anger or depression or grief that we lose control. You know, control a lot of times is thought of as a bad thing, but to have control over yourself and your emotions, obviously, I don't think can be a bad thing. His mom and sister and I are teaching the kids those things. Him and I were very similar, so they already have that installment in them. LOL, our kids are 13 and 15. So you've got 2 kids and they're 13 and 15. That sucks. Because that's like the age where, like, oh man. Think for the best and prepare for the worst kind of thing. That as well. Well, yes, and you know, it's challenging. I don't have all the answers. So yes and no. I would say that, you know, depending on your thought process and how you're going to utilize that saying, I think that the way that everybody is so different, we really, really have to, like, micromanage our definitions of words, because I could say something and it could mean something different to half of you than it does to the other people. Some people could be like getting ready to come and punch me in the face, and other people could be like, oh my god, that was so insightful. Like, just about how people take things sometimes. It's a sentiment, it's not a dick, don't take it so hard. It was, I usually don't vent out like this while crying, but I needed someone, and seeing you were on. And, you know, baby girl, you don't come in super often. So, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I simply mean that if ever there was a reason or a time or a strange synchronicity, you know, that is telling you that you're on the right path. That's how things were explained to me. When you see those or you feel those, like, strange synchronicities with life, with people, with things, it's kind of a ticket to show you that you're on the right path, as long as you're, you know, susceptible to that kind of thing. And the fact, I feel like, that you came in today, shared what you had to share, what you needed to share, on a day that I was literally talking about stuff that goes hand in hand, coincides. It's almost like we planned it. And obviously we didn't. But it warms my heart. You know, if it does nothing, you know, for you on that level, then, you know, I apologize. But I truly, truly have so much love and respect for you and what you're doing, because that's not easy work. You know, that's one of those things that I hope that nobody ever has to go through. You know, losing a father at a young age, losing the love of your life at a young age, something that I cannot can't relate to. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try my hardest to be here. And I know that we have a room full of people, and there's a good chance that maybe one of them have had to go through something similar. If any of you know what this feels like, feel free to shoot, you know, his baby girl a message and let her know. You know, it might not be the kind of thing that you want to bring to the chat, and that's totally fine, but, you know, when we are here to help one another, this is what we are here for. You know, sometimes we go a few weeks, sometimes we go, you know, a few days without talking about it, but if you are truly here to help, you know who you are. You know, that's the goal. That's all I want out of any of this. I could give a fuck less about anything else. Knowing that somebody sees that I'm on, and this is a place that, you know, they can maybe talk out some shit. That's one of the best feelings in the world. We can make a difference in this life, but it starts with our own. And it starts with the people around us. It starts with stripping ourselves of any bit of dignity or pride we think that we have, and showing them our whole ass. And if they decide to stay, they decided to stay for the real you, for every bit of you. And if they don't, well, I hope that you're ready for that. I hope that you love yourself enough to realize that very few people on this world are capable of loving you the way that you're deserved. And I can't imagine what it would feel like to have that and then not. I can't imagine what it's like every day for those kids. I'm 27 years old, and still the thought of losing my dad is one of the scariest thoughts. I don't talk to my dad a ton. He's done a good amount for me, but mostly like teaching and stuff, you know, anything, you know, monetary, you know, I've had to pay back, which was a lesson in itself, you know. I'm not upset that I never got a handout from my parents. On the contrary, I'm just glad they were there, because some people don't get that. So please, guys, if you're fighting with your fucking parents over something dumb, be the bigger person. It's not worth it. Because when they're gone, you might not be ready. You might wish you had said something. You might wish you had done something. And that's another thing that's hard to deal with, you know, the thought of death. I know that death is something that affects a lot of people. Death is something that really never bothered me. The thought of death really never bothered me or affected me. You know, I don't care if I die, if that makes sense. Like, obviously at this point I do care. You know, I feel like I'm doing enough good in the world that I feel like if I die, it would truly be a loss. That thought in general is so great to have. I can't tell you how long I have just not given a fuck one way or the other. Like, not like I'm going to go out of my way to do something stupid, but it's like, you know, it wouldn't really affect much. You know, it might affect a couple of family members and stuff. It's the kind of thing that, like, you know, I never really thought of it, you know. And that's not to say that death hasn't affected me. I've had, you know, very close people to me die very young ages. I've had, you know, people attempt to overdose and then, you know, call me before the shit kicked in so that I would be the one to find them dead. Trust me, I have looked into the face of death and I have fucking laughed. But it's not something that has really, really bothered me, or something that I, you know, until, like I said, the thought of losing my dad is just something that I don't think I will be ready for. I know that I'm not gonna. Nobody can be ready for everything. There's certain things, we're all different, so what mine is and versus what yours is different, but there's certain things that we're just not going to be ready for. You can prepare for everything and still fail. Let's catch up in the chat. I'm getting my oil thing on my car checked because it's been blinking and yelling at me. Told me it meant I was out of oil on Thursday when I got my oil changed, so I'm making them fix it. Blinking. Yeah, maybe you have a leak somewhere. Don't be the bigger person. Sock them in the fucking face. No. Sometimes they deserve to be socked in the fucking face. Sometimes, Pika, that's exactly what somebody needs. But we need to know when the time for fighting is and when the time for forgiveness is. I believe it was Al who I had heard say it first. I don't know if he made it up or where he got it, but it was that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. If you hold resentment towards somebody, you decide not to forgive them, and then they leave this plane, you might not recover from it. It has nothing to do with them. Be selfish if that's how you have to think about it. Forgive them so that you can move past it. If you need to think of it in a way that makes it make sense for you and you need to be a little selfish, then fucking do it. Punch them in the face. Punch them in the face with your words, though. Let them know, be like, despite the fact that I don't want to have a relationship with you, I have to forgive you, and I have to know that I gave you one more chance before you left this place, because all of our time, all of our clocks are fucking ticking. And certain people have done things that they do not deserve. They don't deserve it. Alright? There are exceptions to the rule. Some people do not deserve it. I know that some of you guys have been through some shit that I will never be able to compete with. Thank God it's not a fucking competition. Salutes. Yes, sir. I love you, Taco. I love how long you are. Wait. I love how strong you are and how you've overcome so much since I've known you. You're a fighter and you inspire others to find their courage and fight. Pika, coming from you, that means a lot, because I know that you have done the same. I know that you are one of the lovely ladies, one of the people who have overcome more than I could ever even imagine. And you're also one of the people who give me the most strength that I've ever had in my life. So Pika, thank you. Because I don't know if I would have ever been able to find myself if I didn't have a few amazing people looking with me. I can't find the bikini. I'm upset about it. I left for the week and I came back and I don't know where it's at. So I think it's safe to say that in dealing with other people's emotions, we have about a half an hour for anybody who is just listening and is losing track of time. Dealing with other people's emotions I would say is easier than dealing with our own emotions. Because I feel like it's like a puzzle. Alright, and I'm not trying to like diminish it, but like just hear me out. It's a new puzzle. It's fresh. It's one that you've never looked at before. And anybody who trusts their abilities would look at a puzzle that they've never seen before, whether it's a brain teaser or whatever type of puzzle you guys are into, not like a legitimate puzzle. You'd look at it and you'd be, oh, I could figure that out. It's so much easier to feel like, oh, I could figure that out, when it's a puzzle that's fresh to you. But when it's a puzzle that you've been trying to solve, you've been racking your brain, you've been trying your hardest, you've had other people, when it's your own puzzle that you've had for fucking 20-some, 30-some, years, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop looking at this puzzle, and I'm gonna go try to figure out a few other puzzles. I like puzzles, I'm gonna go try to figure these out. And then you gain knowledge, you grow as a person, and you're all of a sudden equipped with some new thought processes, some new ideas, and now all of a sudden you have an opportunity to go back and look at your puzzle and figure out if maybe any of the bits make sense. And that's why I truly feel like helping one another is the only way. The fact that there aren't more people that will help people selflessly, that will love people unconditionally, it blows my mind. It really does. I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. What size do you wear? Do you need us to send you a new bikini? No, Pika. I will find it. It's just a matter of I haven't, sat and looked for it except for, 2 times when it was 10 minutes before the live, and I was like, shit, where's the bikini? And I'm pretty sure that I've seen it once or twice since I've been home. I've been home for what, not even a full week. I haven't even been home for a full week. So settling into everything, it's just been crazy. I should honestly have the bikini by Monday. I should find it by Monday. I probably could find it by tomorrow. Boogeyman with a ton of biddies. Thank you, brother man. I guess we got new month just started 3 days ago, so let's shout out anybody who is, in our top. Boogeyman, always giving me that sloppy toppy. Welcome in, my real life cousin. I love you, bro. I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for the 245 biddies. Thank you, Cappy Koala, for being in second place with 138 biddies. And thank you, Breeze Too Beautiful, in third place with 99 biddies. And we've got no gifted subs, which is totally fine. It's definitely not something that I ever expect. That or biddies. The fact that anything has come out of this proves that the things that I'm saying are correct. That to be out here putting yourself on the line and doing whatever is in your power to help people, it's contagious behavior. Watching Ao Mao live his dream, fight for his dream, build what he's built. That's been such an inspiration to so many of us. And all I can do is hope that we keep on fighting, we keep on moving, we keep on marching, we keep on inspiring people to be different, to think for themselves, to not just accept reality, because the ones that are responsible for creating it don't give a fuck about us. They just give a fuck about saving themselves. I feel like a lot of people don't look at us as fucking a lot of human beings, the top 10%. We aren't the same. We aren't. They would do anything to save their own skin, while we are over here fighting to save our species, fighting to save our planet. The fact that there's not more planetary fucking safety, even little shit like, the stopping of deforestation or fucking, pollution and certain things that are just overlooked because, we need cars go fast. Like, suck a dick. No problem. Got to get back to work, though. Love you guys. We love you too, Boogeyman. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. I'm not sure if you're going to be lurking or leaving completely, but I really, really appreciate you. I try to be strong, but it's really hard sometimes, and I really want to be stronger. Knowing that I inspire someone just motivates me to keep going and growing and showing myself grow. Pika, I don't know if this is going to discourage or inspire you, but I feel the exact same way. I feel the exact same way. It is very hard sometimes to be strong. And I'm not always. But knowing that I inspire other people gives me so much life, gives me so much light, gives me hope that I never knew I had, bring back thoughts that I never even knew existed. Sometimes I feel like I'm having thoughts that aren't my own, but other times I know that I'm having a thought that I just haven't had in a long fucking time. And it's a never-ending struggle, Pika, and it's one of the reasons why I always compare mental illness to alcoholism, to addiction. Because once you get into that reality, once you get into that realm, once you struggle with depression or anxiety or alcoholism, it doesn't just go away. But that's not to say that you can't overcome it. That's not to say that you can't. It's not just going to go away. And if it does, it's coming back. And the moment you take it easy, you decide, oh, hey, look at me, I'm better. That's when it knows that it can make its move. So, keep fighting. We've got too many motherfuckers to prove wrong, and we've got too many motherfuckers to bring with us, Pika. So thank you for everything that you do for me. Thank you for everything that you do for your family and for all of us. 3 police cars and 2 fire trucks just escorted my high school sports bus filled with a team of some sort through town with sirens blasting and honking, all the kids yelling out the window at everyone passing by. I don't really understand what just happened. Yeah, that's crazy. They're coming back. I'm taking the video if they do. Yeah, that's crazy. Guys, make sure you take your meds, and if you need to eat first, do that. Brush your teeth, brush your hair. I'm guilty of not really brushing my hair very often, but I've started brushing my hair lately. Even though it doesn't look any different, I think it looks a little better. It looks the same, but I just feel like it's more in line. You know, it's more doing what I want it to do kind of thing, just from, you know, brushing it. And it definitely, you know, feels better just to have a little bit of a routine. You know, getting into some type of routine, even if you're just eating 1 or 2 blueberries and brushing your teeth, like brushing your hair, running a comb through it a few times, like, you can really make it take a very small amount of time. It's about figuring out where your deficits lie and figuring out if you're going to make an excuse or if you can actually figure out what the problem is and assess it. You know, that's the difference between an excuse and something else, because an excuse is you trying to deflect blame. An explanation is, oh no, this was my bad, but just so you know, blah blah blah. You know, a lot of people, I myself always got blamed for making excuses versus, you know, giving explanations. And just like we're all we're all capable of doing negative things, we are all capable of making excuses and participating in shitty behavior. I have bad days. I am not a fucking saint by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm as open and honest with you guys as humanly fucking possible, and I like to think that most of you show me the same respect. And anybody who's struggling, anybody who's going through anything, you don't have to go through it alone anymore. Even if you don't think that we understand, if you think that we're dumb for even trying, I don't give a fuck what you think. You're not in it alone, motherfucker. And if you want to keep wallowing in your own self-pity and you don't want to fucking take the steps necessary to get better, then that's fine. But it starts with you. Some people in this room might be able to help, because a lot of us have clawed our way out by ourselves, or at least have felt that way. You know, a lot of us, even if we had people there for us, our mental illness wasn't going to let that happen. We're not going to let ourselves think that there's people there for us. That's how the mental illness wins. It isolates you. It keeps you alone and stupid. That's why self-help is the theme of my lives. I ain't no fucking guru. I ain't no know-it-all. But I know that when push comes to shove, Robin Williams had billions of loving, adoring fans, and he still hit that unsubscribe button to life. If you don't take your health, your mental health, your ability to help yourself seriously, you might not make it. Because we all get depressed, whether you're diagnosed or not. I'm not saying you suffer from depression, but we are all depressed. At this point, we are acting justifiably to the world around us. And to isolate yourself is just playing into their hand. Going on the freeway, like, what the fuck is this? Is this new security measures because of the school shooting? Like, what the fuck? I would assume it's probably like a celebration since the end of the year is over. It's probably like their last game or something. It's probably just like a celebration or something. That's what I would guess. Or maybe they won something. I don't know. I would say they're either on their way to like a big game or their last game or an important game or they won something. That would be my guess. What do we got? We got about 15 minutes left, guys. If you're new to the stream, then you know that I stream every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I go live until noon, which means we have 15 minutes left. And today we're talking about emotions. The last thing I have to talk about is how to understand emotions. And this is coming from somebody who had to relearn them. How they felt, what they meant, how far was too far. So this is something that I was ready for. I'm very, very, ready for, as you guys can see, this live has been, I've been in my comfort zone the whole time. Talking about an uncomfortable situation. Emotions are one thing that I do not have down to a science by any stretch of the imagination, but I have been taking some notes. So if anybody, has anything to add or anything, wants to make sure that, they get to say their goodbyes. The last 10 minutes is usually when I, mention the goodbyes, but we're close enough, and it's just been so natural, so organic. We've just been, ranting and raving with each other and trying to figure out these crazy fucking things in our head called emotions. Which ones mean what? Which ones can we rely on when other ones are going wonky? And a big thing is humor. Even when there's nothing to laugh about, find one. And if you can, then you can make light out of the darkest of your situations, the darkest of your times. If you can crack a half-assed joke and it wasn't that funny, but it made you smile a little bit on the inside, that's a start. That's a start to taming some of the more, irate emotions, sadness, fucking depression, anger, grief. Being able to keep yourself in a higher state of mind, keeping yourself in a higher vibration, surrounding yourself with people who are more positive, okay? I get that it's annoying as fuck. That's why I'm not positive all the time. Do you notice how I'm like equal bits positive, equal bits kind of fucked up? First of all, I was all parts fucked up. So I'm letting this kindness thing, I'm seeing how it works, and it works. For me and the people around me, it's something, I was always the type of person who would give the shirt off of my back for a complete stranger. But I was never confident enough to go the fuck out there and find them. Well, I'm putting myself out there to be here for as many people as I can, and it's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing experience. I've learned a lot about other people. I had to learn a lot about myself. I had to understand my own emotions. In order to understand emotions, I personally feel like we first have to understand the person. And most of us don't love ourselves, don't understand why we think what we think, why we do what we do. Most of us don't understand ourselves. How are you going to understand somebody else? How are you going to understand their emotions, what they're going through? How are you going to help them if you can't fucking help yourself? Well, fortunately, we talked about that earlier. It's a whole new puzzle. Alright, I know my puzzle's fucked up. But I haven't looked at yours yet. I might not be able to solve it, but I might be able to show you where a piece or two could possibly go. Give you an idea or two. I'm not trying to solve anybody's fucking puzzle. I can't solve my own. But if I could take a look over your shoulder and say, well, did you try this? And you try it and it works? Well, that's why. Even if you feel like you do not deserve to be here and you don't deserve to try to help other people, well, that doesn't make sense. Everybody deserves help. We may not be able to give it to them sometimes. I know that there's people that I have had to cast from my life, and people that may, get cast out of my life in the future simply because I do not have the ability to help them, and they were nothing more than a leech of my energy. And that's a hard decision, and that's also not a permanent decision. You can decide what's good for you in the moment, because only you truly know what is, and you're only going to know what's good for you if you start trying to understand yourself. Start trying to understand your emotions. Try to understand the people and the world around you, the emotions that people are going through. When you walk down the street and somebody doesn't make eye contact and you think, wow, what a bitch. I'm not saying you're wrong, but they're probably thinking the same thing. Or they're probably sad, depressed, angry, have never had somebody actually say hi to them. I say hi to people. Not every time. But I try to, see, I attempt to be friendly in general. And I recommend it. I recommend it because when you can't figure out where your next piece goes, taking a step back and helping the world around you not only gives you an idea or a place to look, but it gives you I think Link's over here being bad. You motherfucker. Link! You're really falling into this fucking food bag. I was really doing good there, you motherfucker. What? Now you can't get it. Now you can't get it. I feed you twice a day and you get the good food. I don't understand. You were overweight, bro. You're not starving. You were just a fat fuck. I'm not always nice. Man, I was on like a roll. And then as soon as I heard him, I was like, no, if I don't go up and check, he's going to keep going. He's going to keep doing it. So now we got less than 10 minutes. If you guys want to say your goodbyes and stuff, you're more than welcome to. Let me make sure that I'm caught up in the chat. Or trying to do things on your own because you know we all have our own poo to deal with. Cinny, I'm glad you brought that up. What did Pika say? That's weird though, that didn't happen when I was in school. Oh, maybe they won't stay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Cinny, very well said, trying to do things on your own because you know that we all have our own shit to deal with. Some people, myself included, would love the opportunity to be there for somebody that we care about. So if any of you guys feel like you've made a friend in my live, in somebody else's live, in your own live, on your own accord, these are real people with real emotions and real feelings, and be safe. This is still the internet, and we still don't know who has what intentions. Anybody could have a hidden agenda or ulterior motives, and that's why it's important that we be honest and open with one another, because liars like that have a harder time sticking in. And a lot of times I feel like even if somebody was going to come in maliciously and try to just fit in, they would see very quickly the types of people we are, and they would, hopefully it would speak to them and their character. I have too much faith, too much hope in everybody. There's a good chance that I will get taken advantage of. I will get burned. I will regret helping some people, putting myself out there. But there are way worse things for people to regret in life. And if helping somebody who wronged me is mine, then I think I'm doing pretty fucking good. And I challenge you guys to do the same. To be there for people when you think they might be suffering alone. To have the respect for not only yourself, but for your friends. to trust that whoever you decide to reach out to, if you feel like you need to do this on your own because everybody else is dealing with their own stuff, have faith that not only will they want to help you, but they can help you. You know, it might not be the first time, it might not be right away, but the way I see it, if you're suffering in silence at this point, you're only making excuses for your mental illness to stay in control. And obviously, with a grain of salt, we all have our moments, our struggles that we should just deal with on our own. Because that's what self-help is about. It's about trying to do it on your own, if you have the ability. But truly understanding yourself as a person and your emotions is being able to acknowledge and understand, I can't do this one by myself. I need help. There is nothing wrong with fighting for yourself, fighting your own battles, doing your own thing. But the second you realize that you need help, do not hesitate to reach out to any of your friends that you have made here, or in Al's chat, or anywhere. Anybody who calls you a friend should be there and willing to help. And if they're not, then, you know, you don't treat them poorly for it. You know, you weren't even able to help yourself. But, you know, certain people act certain ways and do certain things that kind of contradict what they say, you know what I mean? Oh, nice. See, I figured it was something like that. Pika. Link. Spoiling it with the snack raid. Right, Johanna? Alright, guys, I appreciate you all for hanging out with us today. Anybody who's still hanging out with us, if you're not lurking too hard, feel free to throw some emotes. We are going to be hopping into Ow Mal's live. I'm live on the computer, and I have the ability to raid. So, I'm going to raid Mal. I hope that you guys all have an amazing day. I hope that if you come along, that you know, say what's up, you make some friends. It's a very friendly, you know, positive 420 friendly community that has just formed around this man. If you want to know his story, you have to go to his live. You know, I break too many arms jerking off that sweet son of a bitch, that Studley Schnoz, and if you want to know what it's all about, you're going to have to come right with us, I guess. But just know that there's a soundtrack. There's a whole fucking army marching in front of everything that a lot of us do. And that's the Yao Mao army. That's the one man who was brave enough to fight for his dream, and people who saw that. People who saw the potential, who saw the love, who saw the potential. Yo, Bob Version, we are all tacos, but we are made of different ingredients. That's what makes tacos perfect. It can be whatever you want it to be. Don't matter what type of meat, even if you don't want no meat. Don't matter what type of ingredients. All you need is that shell. And as long as your shell isn't a fucking empty husk, then you're so much more than that fucking tortilla that you see when you look in that mirror. You've got insides. You got feelings. You got a whole ass person that you've been taking for granted and taking advantage of. Yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to love yourself. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror today and try to see what it is that we see in you. Because I guarantee you'll find it. And if you don't, think back to when you were a kid. You will find your potential, whatever the fuck that means. What's up, Alma Music? We've been getting deeper than my two fingers in Manny Main's butt last weekend. How's it going? We were talking about emotions today. I know you know have had the same theme or a similar theme for most of the week. So, and I know that Mal, I'm telling you, bro, the synchronicities in my life that I feel like kind of just like, and I forget who it was that told me this, or if this is like a well-known thing. I don't know if it was you or if it was my Wizard Ninja friend, but like that the strange synchronicities that come up are like what, this isn't how you guys worded it, but it's how I like took it. But like the synchronicities are kind of what like show you that you're on the same path. And, you know, that happened with us very, very much so today. One of your lovely fam and friends, his baby girl, came and hung out with us and shared some stuff, and really, I think helped put life into perspective for a lot of us. Simply because they needed somebody to talk to, they decided to come say what's up. Amazing things are happening all around you, my friend. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was breaking on jerking you off, but I was, as always. We're just waiting for your command, General, to raid the Taco Party Pack. Taco's tanks are rolling out to assist the Ao Mao army in a raid, because Al goes live every day at noon. I need a break. I need to go wash my ass. I need to sniff my pits, wash my fucking taco suit. I got shit to do. So as soon as that beautiful bastard, as soon as that studly schnoz comes on, I raid over. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for his music. Fuck Al just for a minute, okay? Because I break a lot of arms jerking him off. Just for a minute. His music saved me. To know that somebody would quit their successful corporate job and preach of the worldwide atrocities to paint a target on his own back and rely on his abilities and his hope for the world to understand his message. That is why I will support that motherfucker until my dying days. I don't give a fuck if he starts thinking that I'm annoying or that I'm whatever. His music saved my fucking life. And his candor did the rest. Him and his wife. I'm gonna stop. Because you guys hear me jerk him off way too much. I just wanted to let you guys know how much he truly does mean to me. It goes so much beyond mine and his relationship. It goes so much more beyond even you guys. It truly comes from his story and his ferocity and his persistence. I love him. I fucking love him. He's the shit. Witchy Woman, you're the shit for the fucking resub. Dr. Threeball is coming in for a protein shake. I got one ready for you. Cherie, what's going on? Welcome in. We are getting ready to raid into Mao, so if you guys are ready to raid, throw those emotes in the chat, please. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. If any of you have a topic in mind, let me know. I don't normally settle on a topic until the morning of. So if anybody has an idea, if you let me know the night before, I will definitely make that, I don't decide until the morning of. I kind of just talk about whatever I feel is important, whatever comes to me, or what I feel might be important to, some of you guys, if some of you guys are coming with the same shit. I pretty much just kind of meditate on it, but I don't meditate on it because if I was, then I wouldn't be focusing on just my breath. I'd be focusing on that. But yeah, for lack of a better explanation, I kind of meditate on it. Thor Amy, what's going on? I'm doing well. Cindy going on a barbecue. Al is live. All right, guys, Al is live. Cherie, you got some good news? I will let you tell me before I raid. but I am going to start this raid, so I'll be sideways. Go ahead and let me know, but I am starting this raid. If anybody wants to go early, you're more than welcome. Start the fucking charge. But I'm going to raid as soon as Cherie tells me this good news at Owl Mal Music. Going to get it started. That way it's already starting, and I can just click on the button. Because I always, as if I didn't love to raid Al for 1,000,001 reasons, it just forces me to take a break, which I need. I definitely need. So Cherie says, okay, we're waiting for your good news, Cherie. We got 13 people ready to raid. Well, I've been on a diet and lost some weight. Dude, good fucking job, Cherie. I don't know where you were at before. Good job. Please raid with us and share that with our Owl Mal Army friends if you're comfortable enough. I know that weight loss is something that a lot of people struggle with, and if you're comfortable to share that, I'm super fucking proud of you, and I would recommend it because I think that you will get a lot of positive encouragement and reinforcement. If you don't want to, if you have too much to do, or if you're unable, then I totally get it. No hate, no pressure, no pain. But I'm going to raid over to Al. I appreciate you, Cherie. Good work. Seriously, great job. And I'll see you guys over at Al's. Again, thank you, Witchy Woman. Thank you, everybody who spent time with me. Cherie, definitely. Please come and share. And it isn't goodbye. This is I'll see you all at Al's. I'll see you there. Hi, handsome boy. How was that? Huh? How was that, handsome? Hold on.